Jeremy,
Hey, how you doing, Danny?
what's happening? How you doing?
Doing all right, man. Nice to meet you in person, man.
Nice to meet you too, man.
Yes, sir. I love your work, man.
Hey, I appreciate you. I see you about to start a comic book too, right?
Yes, sir.
Nice. Yeah. I always like to see like the process. I always
Thank
like to see the process. So um I'm looking forward to it. I'm
you.
looking
Yes,
forward to
indeedy. Yes, indeedy, man. So with that being said, you ready to start?
it. Yeah.
Hey, how y'all doing? Back again, with another great episode of the If Factor Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Jeremy Robinson. Today we have someone special. Go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
You know who it is. It's your boy Danny J. Quick in the building. No, my name is Danny J. Quick. I'm the writer and co-creator of Aceblade, the Vegas Vigilante. Been making comic books for 10 years. I'm an Army veteran. I'm a husband, father, all of that good stuff. And man, I'm excited to be here.
That's good, man. I'm excited to have you, man. And definitely love your work. It's crazy how social media works because, like, since
Yeah.
I've been writing and posting, like people like yourself been popping up. I'm like, thank you, God. Let me go ahead and reach out. Let me go and reach out. That's my first thing. Let me reach out. So, thank you, man, for what you do and being a pioneer, man. Definitely, doing what you're doing.
Nah, I appreciate you, man. I think we all learn from each other, especially in the indie comic space, man. It's hard to do it alone. It's impossible to do it alone.
Hmm.
And we all have to learn from each other. And I think, the podcast it helps like the talking to people, it helps, and it helps you, stay energized and motivated to keep going. So I appreciate you doing what you do.
Thank you, man. So I'll say, how are you doing mentally, physically, and emotionally?
Tired, bro. I'm tired is what it is. No, no. Mentally, man, I am better than I was, man. A few months ago, I was down in the dumps,
Mhm.
and I'm an Army veteran, and when I got back from Iraq, one of the things I realized early is that I needed a therapist to talk to. I needed somebody to talk to about all these things that were going on in my brain. So
Mhm.
thankfully, I have that resource um to discuss things with, and was able to kind of get out of that rut that I was in. So I'm doing okay mentally. Physically, I'm 40 years old. I'm 41 years old.
Okay.
But I just saw LeBron James last night,
Doing it
pull
thing.
through, pull
Yes,
through in
sir.
a game three. So, that makes me know that I got to get out of there. I got to get up in the morning and stretch. You gotta operate differently the older you get.
Mhm.
And then emotionally, man, I'm happy, man. I'm a content guy, and I got my beautiful wife, and my family is healthy, man. So I can't be happier.
That's a blessing. That's a blessing, man. I'm thankful, glad you're doing good, man. Yeah, hey, 40 young, man. 40 young.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
you ain't old until you feel old.
Well, I'm starting to feel old, but but I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
I'm waking up with this knee, and like I said, I was in the military, so I got some injuries that I deal with
Mhm.
consistently, like my lower back and stuff like that. But it's the consistency of getting up, getting your stretches in, drinking a lot of water. That
Gotta
kind of
get
stuff
water.
is helpful for sure.
That's what's up, man. So I'll say, what went into you creating Ace Blade and all the comics that you have been actually a part of, too?
Man, I'd say my journey as a comic book creator is really non-traditional because I didn't grow up reading comics. Like I grew up watching, all the shows that came from comic books,
Mhm.
Spider-Man, Ninja Turtles, Superman, Batman, like all those shows, anything that was on TV that I could get my hands on that was around superheroes, I watched it.
Mhm.
But I didn't read comic books until I was an adult. So I met this guy at this job I had. We were actually at a company printing Pokemon cards and things like that, and we would always talk about nerdy stuff. He was like, "Man, I had this idea for a superhero all this time ago, and I never did nothing with it." And his name was Christoph Hollers, and we went back and forth about it. And we were like, "Oh, it'd be cool to do something like that."
Mhm.
Then when I got deployed to Iraq, in the free time that I did have, I would just write stories. I was writing stories, just trying to keep my mind, off of the war and off of all this other stuff. And when I got back, I had a whole novel full of Ace Blade stories.
Hmm.
So he took that same guy ended up taking me to my first comic book convention, and it just opened my eyes. I met people who were making comic books. I met regular people, people that I could see and touch who were making the comic book characters and drawing the comic book characters that I loved and I saw on the screen. And I was like, bro, like, why did I not think that we could actually make a comic book? Like, I've always been a writer and a storyteller, but we could actually make a comic book. I started talking to the artist there, met Wally McNair, who I've been friends and close with in Charlotte, from Charlotte, North Carolina, ever since then. And literally, it's been off to the races since then, man. As soon as I realized that it was possible to make my own comic books, I realized, I was like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be making these superhero stories. So, all of those things that came before it just kind of goes into the story of making Ace Blade and all these other crazy stories that we're part of.
Got you. That's dope. That is dope. And I would say too that traditionally, like, oh, you didn't read comics, you did this. Hey, look, you watch them shows, so that's the closest to it, and
Right.
I think that was what I was the same for a good little while. Played football growing up, like,
Mm-hmm.
but watched the Power Rangers, watched Static Shock, watched Spider
Mm-hmm.
Man, Batman the animated series, and stuff like that. So like the crazy thing is, my brother-in-law came into my life probably like when I was like becoming a teenager, and we went to
Mm-hmm.
our first comic store together. He's like, oh, he had older comics, stuff like that, and I'm like, I always say, man, they worth money. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, what's that? And he was like, "Nah, man, you got to learn about it." So, Blade was big, and we went to go see the movie Blade, and that just changed everything. I was like, "Dang, people
Mm-hmm.
really look like okay, they look like us, real good characters." Change. Actually, coming to find out that it changed the whole franchise of Marvel. Like a movie
Yeah.
like that. So black stories do sell. And I
Yeah.
literally was like, "Man, I want to see about this." And it wasn't until years later, I'm now 31, that I'm writing my own comic, and he like. It all started that day I took you to son, so you get
Yeah.
that Spider-Man coming, so
Yeah. See,
definitely thankful for what I'm doing now, man. And I say to you, thank you for what you do because once I seen it, I'm like, I gotta still buy Ace Blade, man. That's my one thing I know I gotta do.
I
But
got you,
even
man.
just seeing it,
I'll send you over some books, bro, for sure.
I bet. I bet. But I was just sitting there like, man, I gotta not only interview, but thank you, man. That's all I was. I was like, I gotta pay homage to this young man. I mean, to this man. This young
I
man. I'm gonna say, hey,
I appreciate it. Listen, like you said, I'm not quite old yet, but
uh,
I'm moving in that direction for sure. No, but man, like I said, it's a mutually beneficial thing, man. I've been doing it for more than 10 years now. But seeing the especially the newer desire for people since like the Dakota incident,
mhm.
you've been doing it for a while now, but like there's a lot of people who with the Dakota Incident book, have this renewed interest in Black comics and in comic book making and in making content around comic books. And it's
Mhm.
really refreshing. It's really refreshing. So even for, an OG like me who've been in the game for a while, to see people, energized about the things that I love and the things that I care about, it gives me energy to keep going.
Yes, I love that, man. So I say, with that, what is your it factor? Why do you do what you do?
I was just staying on making a video about this.
Mm,
Um, And I think that it's just consistency, man. I learned in the military to be consistent, you
mm,
know. And a lot of people over the years I've been told I look like Kev on stage. And I heard him say, the thing that separates him is that you're not going to outwork me.
right.
You're not going to be able to, you're not going to outwork me, and I'm not going to quit. I made a decision years ago that this is something I wanted to do.
Mm,
And because of that, I'm able to consistently work towards that goal. This 10th issue of Ace Blade that we're about to put out, this is a milestone for me. Like this was a goal that I had in my mind, years ago. I was like, man, I want to get to 10 issues. I want to do three storylines. I want to get to 10 issues. And we're almost at that goal. And it hasn't been all done at one time. It's taken a long time to do it, but I'm almost at the goal now. So I think my it factor is just my consistency, my ability to keep getting up every day and doing a little bit at a time. Taking big chunks out of it when I can, but just a little step towards the goal every day and getting closer and closer to it.
Indeed, indeed, man. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. So I say,
Yeah. What's
for
your,
your
what's your it factor? What's your it factor? You be
man,
asking everybody else. I want to know what's your it factor.
my it factor is, and it's the same, but it screws over the years, man. It's to a point of I love hearing people's stories and seeing what they do. Through that,
Mhm.
it makes me happy, man, and joyous. But my biggest thing is helping people, man.
Yeah.
And following up and also telling my story through different stories. I already have wrote my book Black Man. I wrote about growing up in a single parent home, going to college, letting the sport of football go, and captured a lot of the small things I thought about my coming from a small town and moving up
Mhm.
here to Atlanta. And one of my biggest things was in that book was I just wanted to show that it's possible, And then just a few years ago, I wrote The It Factor, The Art of Networking, It
Mhm.
Factor memoir. And man, literally in writing that book, a lot of people kept asking, like, "Hey, man, what made how you get these people? How you interviewed this person? How you did this? And how you?" And at some point, you like, let me write a book about it. That's my biggest thing. Like, let me put it in the book. Let me tell you, this is how I did it. You can call or email me. You can get in touch with me. That's my biggest thing. And now in writing Noah Stone, man, it's the first time I would say in writing that is like it's just so pure. Like before it was because it's of course it's my story. Those two other books, but like writing something like this, especially in the comic genre, I know you can attest to it. It just feels right, man, and it feels like I should have been doing it,
Right.
and
Right.
especially blending the two worlds that I'm blending, like
Mhm.
blending sports and blending superpowers. It's
Superheroes,
like a
man.
match made in heaven type thing. Like
Sports and superheroes, it's right there, man.
it
Like I
is.
said, I'm a big fan of LeBron James, and like
Mhm.
dang on Bronny is on the court. Like, bro, like
Yeah,
what? Like it's crazy. Like it's right there. And I seen you had Dr. Sheena Howard on your show a
yeah,
while back. She's a huge inspiration, man. And you're in Atlanta, so shout out to Angel Reese
yes,
coming
sir.
through. I'm excited about that. So man, I think it's cool, man. It's definitely cool, man.
Thank you. But yeah, man, I'm thankful when I saw Dr. Sheena, man, when I had her on the show, that was another inspiration because I was like, okay, I could write. Let me think about it. I was thinking about it. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna do it yet, and off camera, she was like, do it. If you're thinking about doing something like this, pursue it. Don't be afraid of it, and you're already a writer, so it's not gonna be that you got that out the way. But she was
Right.
like, just go out there, and I once she sees my post, so I probably send it to her every time. She'd be like, "See, you going out there." So I'm thankful, to have that relationship and
I got
thankful
yeah,
for the podcast for that.
I got to meet Dr. Howard, Roland, who's also another writer from Atlanta.
Hmm.
He talks to her all the time, and he always talks about how she is a great mentor. And I got to get up with her for sure because
Yeah,
I watch her on social media, but I got to do better about the networking thing. I got to do better about reaching out to people and not being scared of rejection because
yeah. Hey, look, I can
I'm
help you.
more.
I can
I
help
got yeah, there we go. I got to get the book and I got to get some help with that
you.
because that's one thing I do have this fear of rejection,
Yeah. Hmm.
um and it keeps me from really working with a lot of people because I know that people would work with me if I really reached out to them because we've been able to build this platform and people kind of know Aceblade at this point. So I know that people would work with me if I reach out to them. It's just a fear in my brain
Yeah.
that I got to get over.
You got to get over it, and especially with her. Look, she'll email away, believe it or not. Like that's her.
Mm,
She's like, you emailed me. I saw your calendar. I signed up because I was like, she's like, it's the best thing people can do. But
mm,
one thing I say in the book is, you'll never know if you never reach out. It sounds so simple, but just do it. And I'll definitely help because it was something I was scared of at first, and then I started laying in some guests that I just be like, I can't believe I'm talking to this. I can't believe this really happened like this, and
right.
at some point you get it like, oh, okay, but networking is one of those things that it's an art. I wrote the book for a reason. It's art. But yeah, definitely I help, man. Definitely I help
Yeah.
that. I say, outside of your universe though, what are some of your favorite comic characters that you read and or collect?
Outside of my universe, I've been reading a lot of indies
Mhm.
lately. Um, I've been reading a lot of indies. Freestyle Comics has this comic book called Hot Shot and Vigilance. So the freestyle universe is one of my favorites. I just did a video about how there's a character in there named Carla. Carla is the main character's girlfriend, and she just makes you so mad. Like she just made me so mad, like reading the story and how she treated um, the uh, the hero, and just not being understanding. But then I realized that was one of the reasons that Invincible was so good. The relationships between Mark and his girlfriend
Mhm.
was a very important part of the story. So those little kind of things can really do a lot for a story. But besides Freestyle Comics, there's Concrete Comics. They got an amazing universe. Impound Comics, my man from Sacramento, Taurus Comics. He's got some great books. Saw the Lightning Wilder, and like there's a lot of indie characters, indie universes that are so cool, man. And then you don't have to like there's not the pressure of getting behind because usually indie books take a little bit longer to come out. So you might get 2 books a year instead of 6 Absolute Batmans. Like
Right.
Absolute Batman gonna have a book every month, and I'm like 10 issues behind,
Yeah.
and like I
Same.
know I'm missing out. But the next, Saw the Lightning Wilder might come out in November, and I've already
Mhm.
read those. So I think reading the indies is where I'm at. So most of the indie universes.
Okay, I love that. I love that, man. I'm definitely getting into it, man, because I actually see them at my comic shop now. Like since
Hmm.
I've been asking, I've been doing my market research, my thing. Like, hey, when I write my book, could I, possibly get a book in here? And then most of the people here in Atlanta, believe it or not, was like, yeah, yeah, you
Yeah,
could. I'd love to have it in here. And then show me where the area at. And I have seen Hot Shot. I have seen a couple impound down here too. But I've
yeah,
seen a
yeah.
lot of different comics. It's someone it's called Midnight Comics. I just reached out to them.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Midnight Comics is dope. I got there. I think they did. I don't know if they did the Musa book, but
Mhm.
um, I just got one of theirs too. But I can't think of the title of it, but I just got one of theirs too from
Gotcha.
Kickstarter.
And then you also did a 5 video, man, on I like how you did it with what's the book, man? I gotta get it, man.
The
Uh
Super Predator.
yes.
Yeah, super RJ Barnes, man.
Uh,
Yeah, that was a good book, man. I really enjoyed that one. I was just sitting outside of my wife does hair. She has a hair salon here.
okay.
And I was just sitting out there waiting for her. And I just happened to I had got the book in the
Mhm.
mail. And I was sitting out there waiting for her. And I was like, let me just go ahead and read it since I'm just sitting here. I ripped it open. I was like, I'm gonna make a video. And the beginning of the video, I was like, this joint came really fast because I had just ordered it like a couple of days ago.
Uh,
I was like, this joint came really fast, and I'm gonna read it right now. So, but yeah, and then I reached out to RJ Barnes. He's a dope writer, and the idea of the story is really dope. And the artist, Anthony Piper, I've been following him for a long time. So it was when I saw it, it was like, oh, I gotta buy it. I gotta buy this book. So shout out to the whole team over there with the Super Predators. It's pretty cool.
oh yes. So I got a few rapid fire questions for you, man.
Mhm.
When
Let's
you're
do
writing, hero or villain?
it. Hero. I
Okay.
like a hero, but the villains make the story. So
They
yeah.
do. They do. Look, I just finished chapter 3 and the villain. Just know it's you gonna be like, yeah, he a writer. I can't believe he
There we go. Yeah.
Did I say one character you would like to bring to the real world?
Um, I'd love to have somebody like my villain, Hammer Hands.
Okay.
He's a jokester,
Uh-huh.
but he really does, think he's the man, and he's got these prosthetic arms. He lost his ability to fight because he had these prosthetic arms. But he got new metal arms, and he said, "I'm still gonna beat up people." I think people be afraid to see him walking around on the streets.
I know. And I'll say pen and paper or digital creation.
Ooh, I'd say pen and paper, but I'm more of a digital creator now. I
I like
you know,
both, but yeah.
Google, hey,
You see me in my
Google,
notebook, man. I've been in there,
yeah,
and every
yeah.
time my illustrator, he be like, "You still?" I'm like, "Hey, man, this is just for this one. This gonna
I
be this
like
way."
Yeah, I
I
like it,
still
but
got to type though. I still end
you
up
still
having to
gotta
type.
type. You still gotta type it at the end of the day.
I say biggest inspiration outside of comics.
My wife, Tiana, she's the real entrepreneur in our family. Like um, she's been running her own hair salon for 15 years now, and just keeping it consistent. So my wife is.
So, so, and I'll say, how do you? I don't like the word balance. So, how do you remain yourself in all that you do?
Oh,
You come close to the camera too.
hey, I don't know, man. I think I just like having fun in every situation. I think, you know, um, the Bible says be content in all situations, and that's what I try to do. I try to, no matter what's going on in the world, be happy in myself and see the positive things, and try to give them the equal weight that they deserve. So there's a lot of bad things happening in life, but there's a lot of good things that happen too, and
Mm-hmm.
you gotta, weigh them equally.
Yes, sir. You're right about that. I'll say, what have been some of your funnest moments, man, of being a comic creator and being a
Mm.
creator overall?
Man, there's two. Early when I was creating, we had our first comic book convention that we ever did. We didn't even have any comic books. We did this show in North Carolina,
Mm-hmm.
and we didn't even have any comic books. We had T-shirts and posters, and we were just telling people about what the store was going to be about. We sold a T-shirt to a young kid at that show with just Aceblade on. It was an iron-on shirt that we did an iron-on thing on.
Uh-huh.
And the next year, he came back wearing that shirt. He came back to the show wearing the shirt, and this was super early. Like we didn't even have a comic book, so
Uh-huh.
um, having him come back when he could have worn Spider-Man or Superman or anybody, came come back and he had on that Ace Blade t-shirt. It was one of the funnest things I ever done. And then recently, this past year, my podcast host Kyron Silva, we actually got to meet each other. We've been doing a podcast for 5 years. He's on the West Coast. I'm on the East Coast.
Okay.
We finally got to meet at a comic book convention, and we had a good time that weekend for sure.
That's what's up. Look, y'all got to bring me on the podcast, man.
Come on, yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
I'm gonna send you an invite.
Yes, sir, man. I say, with that, I say, when it's all said and done, what would you like to be remembered for? And I mean, like, career-wise, like, you back chilling. You still writing, you doing your thing, because this is a forever thing. But you back chilling, what would you like to be remembered
Um, I want to change the game, man. I want to be the person that shows people that it's possible. I want people to see Ace Blade or to see me and be like, I know that it's possible because he did it. This guy did it, and because listen, if I tell people all the time, I'm 40 years old, I got a wife, 4 kids, I got a full-time job, I got all this other stuff that I deal with in life. So if I can make comic books, anybody can make comic books. So with my circumstances, if I want people to be able to say, yo, if Danny did it, I know I can do it too.
for? I love that. I love that. I say, what advice would you give to people like myself, need to be graphic novel, need to be comic, or writing a book in general? What advice would you give them?
Oh man. Do as much as you can by
Mhm.
yourself before you start paying people. Um,
That's
the money, the unless you listen, if you're independently wealthy and you can afford it, cool. Hey, do what you got to do. Pay everybody.
Mhm.
But I would say, get as much of your story together as you can before you start, paying artists and paying editors and paying everybody to do the work,
Mhm.
because that's money you can't get back. That's time you can't get back. And then if you need them to do edits and stuff like that, that's even more money that you have to pay them. So get everything that you can together before you start paying people.
You're right. You ain't never lied about that. That's the one thing. I already had my illustrator for the cover of my book, and from then on, anything I needed, like draw something or something like that, he'd do it. And
Mm-hmm.
I say it was a blessing because he was like, "Hey man, a year ago I heard it when he was on my podcast. You got to take the notes." He's like, "Yeah, I got to get into action, man, like drawing action, this so." Not
Mm-hmm.
knowing years later that probably like 2 or 3 years later, I'd be ready to come. And once I said it to him, I was like, "Oh yeah, you said you wanted to," and he's like, "Yeah, you right, man. Hey, how do I?" And that's
I
the
did
thing.
say
It's like
that.
I ain't tricking you. You said you wanted to do it, and the money good, but I like that the relationship we have. He like, man, I want you to get the story done. I want to
Mm-hmm.
start drawing this thing. I want to start creating the characters. The money gonna come. I ain't really that pressed on that first, and you don't get there with everybody. But like you said, the biggest thing was what motivates him is seeing them chapters pop up or them pages
Yeah.
pop up every other week. He like, oh yeah, you the 8 pages? How you did? Okay, let me read them. So that's the biggest thing. Yeah.
No, that's dope, man. That's a thing too, man. If you can find somebody,
Hmm.
that networking piece that you talk about, man, it's important because if you hadn't started networking, you would have had to be on the search for an artist,
Right.
but
I would have tried to go
because
to
you already
Boston.
had, yeah, because you had the network in your mind and you had the experience with them, you already knew who you wanted to go to.
Mhm.
And that's so important, man. That's so incredibly important.
Oh, man. So I say, do you have any encouraging words for our viewers,
Hmm.
especially with the
Man,
times we're living in now?
it's dark out. It's dark outside, bro. It's really
Dark.
dark
Sun
outside.
ain't sun
It's
ain't
dark
really out.
outside right now, but it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be all right. I've been through a lot of stuff in my 4 years, and just like the bad times are always gonna come, the good times always come too. In my experience, if you're going through something right now, just keep pushing forward, and you might find the best experience of your life on the other end. Me and my wife went to Jamaica.
Uh-huh.
Man, I'm telling you, me and my wife went to Jamaica, and I don't necessarily like to travel. I don't like to the process of getting to places,
Hmm.
but once I get there, like I said, I'm gonna have fun wherever I'm at. We got on some jet skis, bro. I'm 40 years old. I had never done like anything like that before. I don't really, I don't be out there on the water like that. But we got on these jet skis, my guy, and it was the best experience I've ever had in my
Uh-huh.
life. And if I would have just, been the curmudgeon, I don't want to try. I don't want to go fly the internet. I don't want to do all this. If I hadn't done that, I wouldn't have got to that experience. So sometimes you got to get through the bad part to get to the good part.
Yes, oh man. Look, I had project skis, man. But yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah,
Oh, man. But you're right. Hey, that's a word right there, though. You're right.
yeah,
You're right,
yeah.
though, man. I'll say, why is it important to go after your dreams?
Um, because you don't want to regret not doing it. I
Hmm.
think I don't regret a lot of things in my life, but the few things that I do regret haunt me. Like they keep me up at night. The things that I can't go back and change, or the things that I missed opportunities on because I was either scared or I was, resistant to actually go ahead with what I had dreamed about. Those things still stick with me all these years later. And regret is something that you know, you don't want to live with. I don't want to live with. So I think it's important to go after your dreams or take them chances,
Yeah.
because those things they give me anxiety, and
Hmm.
I would wish that on my worst enemy. So
Yeah, you're right. You're right, man. Can't have stress and anxiety. As much as you can, you're gonna have it, but as much as you can
yeah,
avoid it, you can avoid it. But man, thank you so much for this amazing episode, man. Thank you for
sure,
what
sure.
you do. And before we do close, do you happen to have any questions for me?
Yeah, man. So I see all the stuff in the background. I see your jerseys and all that stuff. You were a running back, right?
Yeah, man. So I
I
played
knew that was
offensive
Cam
line.
Newton.
I played
Oh,
offensive line.
you play offensive line. Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
But that's my cousin over there, Tyron Matthew Cam, guy I had on the show, and then I got Deion Sanders and Sean Taylor.
Deion Sanders. That's what I'm talking about.
Jalen Ramsey down there too. And that's my boy Teron, man. That was real
Tyron
big.
Taylor. Is
He's
that
been through.
Tyron Taylor?
Yeah. That's Tyron. I got
Tyron Matthew.
Tyron Matthew. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, but that boy Cam Newton, man. I'm in
Cam?
Carolina. So dang on, Cam Newton's my guy, man. I tell people all the time that's an impact player right there. If you ever seen one.
Yeah, definitely.
Sure,
I
sure.
don't care what nobody say. Cam with that guy, man. Cam.
Yeah, for sure. I got another question for you. What is it from your time playing football that most helps you making comic books besides the story stuff? Because I know your story, involves sports and stuff like that. But what about your time playing football
Mhm.
helps you the most when it comes to making comic books?
The coolest thing is now seeing this is that the way that we really are like superheroes, like we talk about Cam, like Superman type thing. To be
Yeah,
very honest, to go out there and run into somebody like his car crash, it's
right.
superpowers, man. You really going out there, but it's the discipline and the work I do.
Mm,
Literally getting up early, all the training stuff like that, and the camaraderie of
mm,
what I do. It come out in the page, man. Like how I can write. To be very honest with you, it made me more structured, playing that sport. And it carried me through college to on, man, to even now, especially now being a father. Me and my wife just had my first daughter in November. So the biggest
hey,
thing in football is
congratulations.
discipline, man. Thank you. But yeah, discipline, man. So
Discipline. That discipline is something that a lot of people are lacking these days. It can
they
definitely take you.
are, they are. In
It can,
sport, it
it
gives
can
you
take you a
another
long way.
thought, man. Like it also, one thing I say, not to cut you off, man, but one
Oh
thing
yeah.
I would say is it realized that we are more connected than we think, no matter your color, creed, or anything. Sports
Mm,
helped me to remember that, and comics guide that line. So, like, one thing I do always, and still definitely gonna touch on in this book, is that how sports bring people together no matter what. Like, I don't care what's going
yeah.
on. I've met so many people that I still stay in contact today because we went out and went to war together. So, that same thing I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure with the military is, hey, I don't care
Yes.
what. Look, when the bullets flying, different things happening. I don't care how you
Yeah.
look. Let's
For
get this
sure.
done so we can survive.
Let's get, let's get it done. And
Mhm.
it's a bond for life. It's a bond for life for sure. Last question, and then we can go. Because I got a podcast,
Thank you
so
for the
I just
questions, though,
I
man.
gotta
Thank
ask
you.
questions, man. I gotta ask questions. Who is your dream guest for your show?
Oh man, it changes. But since we on the topic, I'd love to interview Cam Newton, man. Like
Ah,
that would be
okay.
dynamic. I'd have been close. I'd have been very close, man, a couple times. Even walked
Nice.
past him a couple weeks ago, man. A couple months ago now. Yeah, actually, me and my
Hey,
wife, but I was like, bro,
hey,
that come again? Is it the right time?
there you go.
Like, hey, how you doing? What's going on, man?
Take
But
that opportunity. Take that
definitely,
opportunity.
definitely. But yeah, man, interview Cam, I say I'm gonna celebrate, just like I celebrate everybody, man. The craziest thing is too, the next guest, man. That's the real answer. The next guest is the best.
The next year.
Even interviewing yourself today, like I said, I had put out a little quick post every time I write my questions, something like that. And one of my best friends be like, man, I like you do that. I'm like, bro, I
Mhm.
just want everybody to know everybody's story matters, man. I love when you do that. I'm
That's
like, man,
cool. Yeah.
you gonna watch the episode when it? Yeah, I can't wait till it come out. But I like to see the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank
That's
you,
awesome.
man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, man. I definitely got to. I'm gonna shoot you my number and everything, man.
Okay.
Know we stay in touch, bro. And I'll see how I can help you as you help me too, because we got to get your network thing. We got to get
Got
it
it. Yeah.
going.
We get the
It
network
ain't
together.
even hard at all. They ain't even hard.
Man, it ain't hard for you. It ain't hard for you. But for me, I be having trouble with that thing, man. I be
I
having
hate it
trouble.
too. Don't get me wrong. Like I done heard some stuff, man. Yeah, I can tell you candidly, the funniest thing I done heard was someone said, yeah, they don't do podcasts. Like a few weeks later, they did a podcast. I was just sitting there like,
Like, what? Just tell me
just,
no. I can,
just say no, please. You could have said no, I would have been good. You said damn two podcasts, and they went and did it. And since then, I said, you know what, forget it. I'm gonna ask everybody. Ain't no
right.
floodgate just open. Like I'm gonna ask everybody, man. So that's my thing. And then I'm gonna need your help though with the comic, like the rollout. And
Yeah.
I also want to learn about the Kickstarter thing. You talked about that. I want to
Oh
learn.
yeah, yeah. I can definitely give you some. I can definitely give you some pointers, man. It's kick. That's another thing. It's like it's one of them things that it's hard and it's
Mhm.
almost a full time job when you're doing it, but it's so necessary. There's the Kickstarter and crowdfunding is they got a whole network of people that want to support projects like that. Like the majority of the comics that I buy are
Mhm.
on Kickstarter. I was just looking, and I shouldn't say this out loud, but I backed over 300 Kickstarters. Like I literally have bought comic books from like 300 people on that platform.
Yeah.
And, that's in addition to going to comic book stores and getting Batman and Superman.
Mhm.
But there's a lot of people there's people who've done way more than that on Kickstarter. But then there's also people who are willing to do it for their first time. So yeah, I got you. You hit me up and we'll
Man,
talk.
then look, I got one more question for you. Look, I'm gonna
Mhm.
start recording for this one. I gotta ask one more
All
question.
right.
I'm thinking. Let me see.